All right, so off camera, used this Merit serum. It's really beautiful, and it is called the Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. Now, this is like a mix that you want to shake up. I'm assuming there's some type of like water oil mixture in there, and it really does smooth your skin out so beautifully. I'll show you really quick on the back of my hand. So it's a pump, and you're just gonna, it's very liquidy, incredibly liquidy, but it does create such a great, beautiful base for the Merit makeup, I have to admit. And so I used that off camera to prep my skin. And I also used my Natasha Denona color corrector under my eyes. And I basically used this new NYX Pro Fix Stick in yellow on my nose because that's like my problem area. That's where I pretty much get all of my discoloration, or most of my discoloration. And so I just did that off camera. I did my brows, my mascara, things like that. But I want to focus the rest of the face on the Merit products. So like I said earlier, this brand has a lot of claims. I've heard so many great things about it, and I've never really been into trying it on before because as great of the things I hear about it, I'm also, well aware that it is the brand you go to for that clean girl aesthetic, for the minimalist makeup of your dreams. And while all of those sound appealing, they never really appealed to me because I am basically like a 90s makeup girl. Like I basically always have on like a smoky eye and a nude lip. So I really wanted to take this collection and figure out if these claims are real. I know a lot of my clients are more into that clean girl aesthetic, the minimalist beauty, in and out in 5 minutes. They want something really quick. And so I figured, you know what? Let me try this out for you guys. And I will say I was really shocked by the results. So let's get started with Silk Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick. Now, when I saw the colors in store, I definitely thought this was gonna be way too dark for me because look at it. It looks so much more kind of peach than my skin tone. I'm very like fair, olive yellow undertone, but it is really sheer and emollient. And once you blend it out, it blends in pretty seamlessly, I gotta say, And so I was pretty shocked by that. So I also got myself the Merit brush that it comes with, as if I needed another brush in my collection. I do not, but I figured, you know what, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right. So I want to see how the brush compares to the rest of my brushes in my arsenal. Okay, so let's get started. This is a small complexion stick. I was gonna say foundation, but it's technically not just foundation. They call it a complexion stick because you could also use it for your concealer, like right under the eyes. I know I look like I'm putting on some like war paint, but this is just kind of the easiest way to use it. And so I'm just going in with the brush and I'm using these really quick blending motions. And I always start with a little more of the product in the middle of my face because that's usually where all of the problem areas are. You could do a little stippling in there as well if you want to get a little more coverage. Stippling with your product and your brush is always going to give you more product than just blending it out like this. And so since I want more coverage under here, I'm doing a little more stippling. You always want to match to your neck. So blend your foundation, and if you feel like you are having a little bit of a mismatch, but it's kind of all you have and you have to make it work, I would definitely blend some onto your ears because that is something that people will see without a doubt, and it's also something that most people don't think of when they're doing their makeup. So if it's off even by like a little hint of a shade, blend it onto your ears if people are gonna see your ears, and that way it will match. Now, I'm not gonna go crazy because this is, again, meant to be that like ultimate clean girl, minimalist aesthetic. And so you're not looking for perfection with this complexion stick. You're not looking for like incredibly high coverage. You're looking for natural coverage. And I feel like I've achieved that. Like, it looks really nice and natural. I'm just doing a little extra blending. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the Merit's bronzing stick. I got myself the shade Clay. There is one a shade down and it's called Quince, and I almost got that one because since I'm so fair, I'm so used to getting the lightest bronzer in the collection always. And what I noticed though about this collection, about these products, is that what makes them so easy for anyone to use is how sheer and emollient they are. And so because this product is so sheer and not very pigmented, it doesn't have to be like a perfect match, you know what I mean? Even though I typically go for the lightest bronzing shade, I actually went to the second deepest one, and that is Clay. And so I'm gonna go in. This is how show you their way of doing it. I don't typically always go in and draw on my face, but this is how I'm gonna show it to you guys, because this is gonna probably be the easiest and quickest way for you to do it at home, which is why I'm doing this whole video in the first place. I'm doing it to show you guys a really simplistic, easy, minimal morning routine. So I am bringing it here. I'm gonna bring it up around my forehead. Now, this is not contour, okay? So I'm not bringing it underneath my cheekbone. I'm putting it right on my cheekbone. And I am just going to blend that out. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that crazy about this particular brush for this step. I don't mind it too much for the complexion stick. And if you really want to be a minimalist about it, you could get away with just using this brush for pretty much everything in the routine, but I do prefer my BK Beauty brush for all of these. And so I'm gonna show you what that looks like so you could kind of get a good idea and the difference. And so you wanna make sure you're blending this in really well, especially like up here, because you don't want to end up with just this like halo of darkness around your face, you know, because that's gonna look really unnatural. And the whole point of this is to have quick, easy, natural looking makeup. And this is, I gotta say, the easiest bronzer I've ever used in my life. And again, it is because it's so sheer and so emollient, and so it just glides. It's not gonna skip, it's not gonna look matte, it's not gonna show off texture and things like that. It is very user-friendly, very beginner-friendly. So if you are nervous, intimidated, overwhelmed by makeup, this is such a great collection to start with and play around with. It really is so simple and easy. And so I love to use my BK Beauty brush. This is the 106. Now, what I always like to do is go in with the brush and spread the product on there, just like that. And then I like to tap it in. And it gives such a beautiful finish because of that like emolliency. And it honestly does not even have to be perfect because we're gonna do a lot of blending. And I'm gonna show you every step of the way. And Merit makes other products that I did not pick up. They make eyeshadow products. They're all cream shadows though. And I have such a large amount of cream shadows that I hardly even use anyway. So I was like, do I really want to invest in more? Not really, but they do look really beautiful. They have some gorgeous shades, pretty much all neutrals. So I think it's gonna be easy for you guys to get along with. Easy selection, really is. And let's see, they have glosses, lipsticks, brow products, really almost the whole gamut. You know, the one thing they do not offer is face powder, and they don't offer that yet, and hopefully soon they will, because that seems to be the biggest problem for people with this line, is that if they are not normal to dry their skin, if they're oily at all, this isn't going to be very compatible for you because it is so hydrating and so emollient. It is just going to enhance that. And so if you're oily, it is definitely going to make it a little worse throughout the day. There are things you could do to combat that if you are really into this line and you really want to make it work for you, even though you are more on the oily side, I highly recommend powdering your face and doing this in layers. So like you would put your complexion stick on first, powder on top of it. You could even use a setting spray after that, and then go in and do your bronzer, your blush, your highlight, spray it again, maybe go over it with a little bit more powder. So these are things you definitely want to take into consideration. And I'm just gonna put a little bit around my nose. I'm not doing a contour. I'm not going along the sides of my nose like that, because we're just trying to make it look like natural sun color, okay? And so now I'm gonna go in with the blush. I picked up the color Stockholm, and you know what? I did not swatch the bronzer for you. I should definitely do that. So this one is Clay, and even though that makes it look a little deep right there, when you start to blend it out, do you see how it just shears out so easily, so quickly, and it just looks so beautiful and like natural. All right, so I will show you what Stockholm looks like. It's just like this really easy to get along with type of a pink. It's not like too bubblegum pink or anything like that. It looks natural when you put it on, and I'm gonna show you a little thing I do to make it look even more natural. And so it's almost a slightly mauvey pink, and then you could just shear it out like that. And so you could see them side by side, just like that. And so it's just, it is really beautiful. And after trying out this like large collection for you guys, I kind of fell in love with this product. I really did. And so I cannot wait to grab a couple more colors. I'm actually really excited about that. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and just swipe some on my cheeks, which again is not what I would typically do on my own, but this is kind of how the whole merit system works. Whenever you see anyone using it, I feel like it's pretty using your fingers, really getting in there, which is totally fine, because I feel like the whole idea is to be really quick, easy, minimal, simple. And so I'm gonna blend that in. Now, if you are worried about having anything left over on this brush, like the bronzer or anything like that, I'm personally not, but if you are, you could always use like a Sigma switch. I love this, and it's just like this great little way to clean off your brush quickly, like in the moment. It's not like a deep clean. It's not like actually washing your brushes, but it's a fantastic little switch up, which is, yeah, hence the name. And it just allows you to kind of wipe it off so that you can use the next product. And so I'm just going in and tapping on a little bit more. And when I want that to maybe not be so pink, if I want to kind of customize it a little bit more to my own taste, what I like to do is take the bronzer and the blush and use them together. I'm just gonna customize my own color, and then that way I will get this really pretty kind of pink with a brown tint to it. And that way it gives this like really nice kind of middle ground, you know? And I feel like my nose looks really red. That has nothing to do with the makeup. That is just my nose. It's just what my skin looks like. It's why I pretty much always use a little yellow color corrector. And so what I'm gonna do to fix that is I'm just gonna go in with that complexion stick really quick, and I'm just gonna put a little bit right in the middle, and I'm using really light pressure with this. I think I might actually want to use my finger. All right, so the next thing I bought is the Cava Day Glow Highlighting Balm. And so this is such a nice highlight. Another thing that I really want to point out that I appreciate, I really like as a person that has too much makeup, I like that all of the packaging is just a little bit different. They match, but they are different colors. And why I like that is because it allows me to find these products when they're just all together in a makeup bag, and I'm just like looking for something like really quick, where's that bronzer, where's that highlight? They're not gonna all have the same packaging. A lot of brands do that, like I love Surratt so much, but all of the Surat products have that same gorgeous packaging, but it is all the same and I can never figure out what's what. I have to go through every single thing. It drives me crazy. All right, so this is Cava and I'll show you right here of what that looks like. It's so pretty. It's really sheer and kind of like a glossy type of a balm for the skin. And once you blend it out, it's not like sparkly. It's not very shimmery by any means. It just gives this really beautiful, lit from within, healthy glow. You know what I mean? And it is so easy to use. And I just love the finish that it gives. Now, I don't use a brush with this. I do just tap it with my finger and like it just gives this luminosity. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Chanel Baume Essential stick, but it is basically a stick that you use in a very similar way. And they have like a clear one. They have got some colors. I've used it and it's okay. I actually really like this one more. And it is definitely not as expensive. It's definitely more affordable. So like it a lot. And I'm just gonna tap that. Now, if you want a little bit more glow, you could always put a little bit on your fingers and just put a little bit. I feel like it's a little easier to control this way instead of kind of drawing it on your face, since you want just like a little bit, and then just a little bit maybe on the bridge of your nose if you want, a little bit of glow there, a little here. I'm gonna get a little close to the camera so that maybe you could see like that. It just makes the skin look healthy and just, I love it. It's like dewy but not sweaty. You know, there is such a balance there that you want to have, dewy but not sweaty. Yeah, I'm really shocked. Like, I am really shocked at how much I am liking and how much I appreciate this brand as a whole so far. What is next? Let's do lips. So I have on a little bit of lip from Ola Henriksen, the little brulee. I love it. It's so nice and hydrating. But yeah, my lips were, as usual, pretty dry. They're always dry. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the new ColourPop So Juicy lip liner, and this one is in the color Westwood. I really like this shade. And I'm gonna go in with the last Merit product that I got, and this is their lipstick in Baby. It's their signature lip satin finish lipstick. And I really like this shade. It's just like such a nice, cool toned mauvey pink, but it's not like a bubblegum bright pink. It's not like shocking. It's very natural looking. And so this is what it looks like. And then if you just sheer it out, and I feel like it's so pretty. I can't wait to grab a couple of the other lipstick colors. There's another one that I want. It's definitely a little more grungier, and it's called 1990. There's a gloss of theirs that I want. I think it's like a lip jelly, and it's called Falcon. There's a lot of stuff that I want to try now. I did not expect at all. I did not expect to like this brand as much as I like it. Now I have to place like a whole order of things that I was not even expecting to like at all. So yeah, let me show you guys as a whole what it looks like, how natural it looks. I hope you could see the way the light is just kind of hitting it, how natural and luminous it looks. I'm just trying to tilt my head so you could see the way the light hits it. Yeah, I'm so happy with it. And like, obviously this video is taking, you know, around 20 minutes or so because I'm explaining every step of the way, how to do it, what I do and things like that. But like, if I'm not talking and I'm just boom boom in the morning doing this before I gotta go to work, this is so quick and easy, you guys. Like, you could get such a quick, easy look. It's just like a minute of a complexion stick. It's gonna be 20 seconds of a bronzing stick, maybe 10 seconds of your little blush stick, 5 seconds maybe for your up here, your highlight, and then your lip. I mean, it's so easy and quick, and I am just shocked. I love it. I really do. Am I like a minimalist now? No, let's not go that far. No, that's too far. It's too far. I can't, that's just not me. But maybe, I don't know. All right, well, I hope that you guys are interested or maybe learned something from this today, and definitely if you can, go to a Sephora and check out some of the Merit products. They are not incredibly luxury high-end prices. They're also not drugstore prices. They're kind of somewhere in the middle. And I feel like even though it doesn't look like you get a lot of product in these components, it lasts a while, you know, and I've definitely like watched other reviews and tutorials and things like that about it, like what people have to say, what their opinions are about the line as a whole. And a lot of people will say, yeah, I've had this for like a year, you know what I mean? Or I've had it for a year and a half and I'm just now finishing it. So it might look like it's not a lot of product, but I do feel like you get some good bang for your buck. So if you want to go in and get a little more oil control, if you are a little more on the oily side, then I would recommend using a powder. I have the Kosas one right here. This is their Cloud Set powder. I use Airy, and I'm gonna go in with my Makeup by Mario little puff right here. This is one of my favorites. And so I'm gonna put some on there, and I'm just gonna take off the excess on the back of my hand. I'm gonna make sure that I don't have any lines under my eyes, make sure everything is smooth first. Now I'm gonna go in and set it. And then again, I'm gonna set right down the center of my face. And so if you feel like you are more on the oily side, or if you're a little combo and that is your like oily area, the T-zone, I would just powder it and go from there. And then if you want towards the end, if you feel like you need a little more kind of perfecting where all this color is, if it's maybe just a hint too much, you could go in with your switch and wipe some of that off, and then you could go back in with your complexion stick. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit of on the brush, just a little bit, and we're just gonna smooth around those edges to really perfect it. I always recommend doing this, no matter what brand or anything. I always recommend kind of blurring out, perfecting the edges of your bronzer, your blush, all that kind of stuff. That's everything. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know what else you want to see from me.